I'll make.
Hallelujah.
I'm sorry.
Clap your hands. We're moving.
But it's that encouragement that you need.
Yes.
Because once you get that encouragement, it's like you feel like you can do anything and you take it to the next level.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Boy.
Are y'all ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yo, it's your boy B Woods.
It's your boy EJ Stu.
What's going on? It's your boy Sam.
And welcome to another episode of
For Musicians Only. Conversations in the Talkback.
It's a podcast by musicians, but not just for musicians.
Get ready. We're going to talk a little bit about everything.
Plug in and let's go. What's good, fellas?
Hey, what's good?
going on?
How's y'all doing?
We're good, man. What's
Welcome
going on?
everybody to another episode of For Musicians Only, Conversations on the Talkback. I'm your boy B Woods.
EJ Stu.
It's your boy Sam. What's going on?
What's up? Yo, y'all know how we do, fellas. How was y'all week? How was the weekend?
Listen,
Just glad to see y'all, man.
it was hot.
Hot, dude.
Man, it's been hot, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Terribly hot.
Very hot,
Thank God
man.
I work inside.
Oh, shut up.
It's been hot, man, but we made
That
it.
truck be 120 something degrees in the back
God
of that
almighty.
thing.
Hey,
man.
every day this guy, or he'll come in just pushing, boy. He got
Probably got 100, 200 stops. You feel me?
yeah, like back his shirt be all like, dude, I don't see how you do.
Shout out to my brothers and sisters in
Yeah.
Brown.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
man. Yo, let's go ahead and get this party started, all right? So, what we're going to talk about today, we went to our socials. Shout out to our Circle Fifths that chimed in. So, today we're going to hit up what is your biggest fear?
Oh, man.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, y'all know how we started off. Sam, what you got for the sound check today? What you got?
Right. We got a this or that. Got an interesting for y'all.
Okay.
An interesting one. Okay. So when it comes to the passenger seat, the the blessed passenger seat.
Okay.
And your mother and your spouse. Oh. Who sits in the front? When you're driving in the car, who
Let's
sits
cut it right
in the
now. Let's
front?
go ahead.
Almighty God. What you got?
EJ?
We're Amber.
Man, listen.
Shout out to Amber. How you doing, girl?
Man, I would say that's rough, man, but you got to use logic, use theory, you know, and understanding and wisdom, man.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say,
Almighty God.
if it was me personally, mama got to sit in the front. That's just me. Mainly because normally the front seat is more accessible to being more comfortable and things like that. But if I had to dig into it from a marriage standpoint, I like to say that my wife and I should already be on the same page.
Cool.
As far as little things like that, you know what I'm saying? But not only my mom, not only my wife, but my mom as well. Everyone should be on the same page. And if my mom suggests, oh no, you go ahead, I'll sit in the back, then that's cool too. But even with that, I like to see my wife kind of have a little urgency and say, are you sure? You know, just kind of play the game.
Yeah.
Just basically, it's got to be built off respect. It's got to be built off respect, straight up respect for each other, you know, and they can work it like that. And
that's the main thing. You took the words right out of my mouth. It's all about respect.
Yeah.
And so in my situation, this is how it goes. You know, and I'll be upfront and honest. And I laugh, but whenever it comes to my mom and my wife, 9 times out of 10, my mom sits in the front. Mm-hmm. And there really is there's no question about it. Like nobody, you know what I'm saying? It's not up for debate. But then on the flip side, whenever it comes to my mother-in-law and my wife, 8 times out of 10, my wife sits in the front. Mm-hmm. And there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no, well, I'm sitting in the front this time. It's no, again, like you said, you got to be on the same page. Right. Everybody has that understanding. And again, it's all out of respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there'll be times where mama don't mind sitting in the back, you know? Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's to me, that's not a big issue. And I laugh, you know, we talked about this because we seen that video that went viral and dude was like, yo, this is my mom. And mom was chilling in the front.
Without a doubt.
Like, son, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, the missus was upset about it.
She was. And I felt like at that point, she was kind of out of pocket.
Very much.
Yeah,
Very much.
She was out of pocket, you know. And I understand, like you were saying, he probably at home puts her on a, you know, boosts her up a little bit.
As you should.
Of course. I mean, and shout outs to that, you know. At the same time, she has to understand still that's his mother.
Exactly.
So,
and I made a comment about, like, if she can't understand that, how did she ever make it to the position of the wife?
Yeah.
If that right there is a problem, that's something you got to notice in the very beginning. Like, you do not want to be married, or even when it comes to dating and stuff like that, you don't want to be connected to anybody that can't get along with your mama.
But I would say this though, to me it was like it was fostered up. Like that had to been built up over time because you just not gonna, you know, like the way she went
multiple times. She did that. Yeah,
that's not. Every time. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's, and again, that goes between communication between the husband and the wife too. Like that shouldn't have got to that point where enough was enough. And you're right in public. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I felt like it was done over a period of time.
And you look like a mama's boy.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a mama's boy. You feel me? Shout out to my mama. Hey, mama, love you. Mama, love you.
Shout out to my mother as well.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yes. I mean, my wife know that
Mom.
too. I think I'm a mother's boy, and ain't nothing wrong with being a mother's boy. You feel me?
Yeah.
It has taught me how to treat my wife.
Hallelujah.
Shout out. Let me go speak in
Absolutely. It'll do that.
You know what we didn't do? Sam didn't answer his own question. So what say you, Doc? Don't try to get away with it. Ask the question that you don't answer. So what?
My mother currently presides in the front seats.
Outstanding.
Until that, you know, I never knew such a thing.
That's what's up. So we good? We good?
That was a good one.
That's good, man. All right, so moving right along, guys. Let's hit up this shared session.
Hey.
All right. We went to our socials. So shout out to the folks that our circle of fifths that commented on our post. And the question that I posed again, what is your biggest fear? All right. So I'm not gonna mention names, but shout outs to you guys here. A lot of people said a lot of different things. I laugh, you know. My response, what I wanted to get was, you know, a little bit a second level of thinking. So, you know, but people put like what they were afraid of, like snakes and, you know, vicious dogs. But some other people, you know, took it a little deeper. And that's what kind of conversations that we was trying to get. So I don't mind sharing this. Like my mom even commented. And her biggest fear was getting older and living in a nursing home. And I was like, I shut that down right then and there. I was like, Mama, you know good well. And I can say my brothers and my sisters agree. Like we're not gonna allow that to happen to my mother. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, we gonna take care of her. You know what I'm saying? But and again, there's nothing wrong with the nursing home. Shout out to our nursing home circle of fifth people. But I mean that's something that I know that we're not gonna put my mom through. That was her, and you know, one of her biggest fears. So you know, we're gonna go and get into a discussion about that. And so of course, you know, y'all know me. Did a little bit of research, and this is me. Whenever we have a problem that is presented, I like to provide solutions and resolutions for these problems. So got a few little tips and pointers of how we can get over our biggest like fear and failures. All right. So start with you, big fella.
Oh man.
What is your biggest fear?
Okay. Y'all know I'm complicated. You know, one of my biggest problems have been I don't have too many fears. You know what I'm saying? And well, don't let me say it's a problem. You know, because of course, God of all, you know, I want to make sure I'm in good standing with that big fella. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. But as far as like fears, man, I'm gonna have to say
it's all right.
You make it sound like I'm crying.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm about to say to you, like you did me. Let him use you. Let him use you.
Man, I'll say my biggest fear is not fearing enough. I mean, it basically saying like this, okay? Because there's so many things in my life I want to do, and I've learned to do it. You know what I'm saying? Jump out there, take that chance.
Why you always taking mine?
Yeah. Shooting your shot or whatever.
We 3 for 3.
But I guess, I don't know, man. How can I wrap it? I'm basically saying, like, I don't ever want to get to a place where I fear doing that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't want fear. My biggest fear is to allow fear to come in. If that's the best way to say it.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Because listen, I always bring it back to people like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and stuff like. Listen, they were never able to get to where they were if they were afraid of anything.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. So I don't want that. I don't want that spirit of fear to come in. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
All right, baby boy. What say ye, man?
My biggest fear would be like getting to that point where you get past what you're afraid of to actually do it. My biggest fear is getting there and turning around, like not going all the way through, not going through. Like, yeah.
Well, I get that.
Okay,
I get that.
Being afraid to mess up. You right there, but you.
Like you was able to get over this obstacle, but then here on this obstacle, you're like, let me. Nah, man, you just gotta keep knocking them down, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
being consistent, that's what it is. Yeah.
So, and I hope I am fair to say this. I think what I can say our biggest fear is failure.
That's a wrap. That's all.
If that, just listen to what you were saying, EJ. Like, but I would say this with you, like what you were saying, that you don't have that fear. Like, your fear is not having fear enough. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to run into having fear. That's my biggest fear.
Which I respect that, because, and we'll get to. I'll guess I'll mention that at the end of the day. But I mean, I admire that about you. Like your fearlessness has inspired me.
Oh man,
to get to a point, and you know what I'm saying, right? Right. I think I'm right in the same boat with Sam. I got over that little hump, but now it's like, oh, here's another one.
Yeah.
But I mean, you kind of threw me out in the water and it's like swim. So it's either like swim or you gonna drown. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take it back to years ago, man. You remember how I used to be in church whenever you want to play, you want to do all these things. And I don't know if you remember like those moments where Deacon Campbell would start shouting and stuff. Yeah. And it's either you gonna get up there and make it to the drums or not. You know what I'm saying? And I remember there was one Sunday I just decided, I want some burn. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And he started shouting, and I ran up there, and you beat me. And because that was your job. You know that you was supposed to do that. But I shot my shot. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't make it. But
big fella, not yet.
yeah.
Not yet.
I won't quick enough, and you did play. But even in that failure, quote unquote failure, I was able to sit and watch you operate, and I was able to sit and watch Junior operate on the organ in those moments. So even in the midst of that failure, I also gained.
Almighty God.
But had I never done it, I would have never seen what's on the other side of that wall.
Gotcha.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That was a whole nother church up there.
I had to be like 6. I had just something like that. I had to be about 6 years old.
Wow.
But I remember I wanted it so bad, and I ran. And I don't think Marvin was there. I don't know, but
he had to be, because I wouldn't have been.
You know what I'm saying? So I was able to get up there, and I missed it. And at a young age, I didn't know I was out of order. You know what I'm saying? But I was still able to gain something by even missing that mark.
That's what's up, man.
Wow.
And I would say this, shout outs and rest in peace to Junior, man.
Yeah, man.
I going to, and just brought up a little tangent here, but I remember the first time that being at the choir rehearsals, and I think Tony was late or something, and I don't know, I guess Junior felt the urge that like I really wanted to play.
Yeah.
He's like, man, come on, play, man. Come on, play. They would, of course, doing the warm up, something simple, nothing, not a big deal. But to me, it was like everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like everything. But I was so scared, man. And I remember the first Sunday that the youth choir sung, and it was like my big Sunday to make my debut or whatever. So I'm already sitting on it. I'm just shaking, and she was like, hey, just relax, but just play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you afraid of? And I remember 2 words that Junior would always tell me when I'm playing the drums. He was on the organ, and I kind of, anytime I have a drummer that's playing, I always say these 2 words to him: just play.
I was thinking the other one.
But shut up. We'll stick with those 2 words for today. Just play. There's no need to be fearful. Just play.
I got
relax and just play. You know what I'm saying?
You told me that. You told Sam that. Yeah, I remember.
Just play. Just play.
Got to get over your fear, man.
Definitely. Definitely.
And in that, what do we learn? We learn that you're gonna mess up sometimes. You're gonna miss the opportunity sometimes, but you can still find something from it. You can pull something from it.
Gotcha.
So,
all right. So we're moving along in this share session. What I'm gonna do here, like I said, y'all know I like to provide solutions to our little dilemmas. So shout outs to codeofliving.com. There was a blog that was produced on that website. 6 powerful ways to overcome failure in life. Okay. So I'm just gonna read over them and let's chime in. You know what I'm saying? Give a little commentary behind each one. Y'all know how we do. Yeah. All right. So number 1, I like it. He started off strong. Understand failure is the key path to success.
There you go.
All right. That's simple. Keep a positive perspective and understand that you only failed because you tried.
Oh man. Again, that's outstanding. Yeah.
So failure in life is what teaches you lessons and pushes you steps towards your end goal. All right. So, and like throughout all this week, man, that's what I kind of been thinking about, man. Like failure is definitely a necessary key, like step in this like process to success. Like it's not a final destination, but it's like a process within that path.
You know terminal. Wow.
All right. Fact number 2 says remain calm and reflect. So think about it. No matter what you do in your present, nothing will change the past.
That's right.
Wow.
Nothing can change the past.
It's an important mindset to have.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. They said don't channel your frustrations and anger in a negative way. Just keep your composure. Channel your emotions and feelings in a positive manner.
Yep.
All right, so we just had a conversation before we got on here. That's why I told us we got to hurry up and get this because I was trying to let all my negative emotions out, man. I had to let like the song said, "Let it go."
Yeah.
All right,
that song ministers, bro.
It does, brother, in so many ways. All right, and I laugh at it, but number 3, learn from your failures.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. Most of the time, people do not pay attention to their failures. All right. So by doing this, you would not be able to cope with or overcome your failures. All right. So, and that's just me chiming in. Prime example of what we got going on here. I was just talking to the big fella about that. Like I'm going back looking at what we did and I'm learning from my mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You got to put the research in when you're moving forward with the process or any event and just learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Let's chime in. What have you guys learned from your failures?
Oh man, I mean, it teaches you how to deal with yourself, man. Like, and like you just said, even in those moments, you got to make a decision. How are you going to deal with it? Like when you fail, are you going to stop? Are you going to chop it up to, okay, I'm going to do better next time? Or are you going to stand back and analyze and say, all right, what did I do wrong? What can I do to do better to overcome it? And just go from there. And sometimes people don't realize it's going to hurt in those processes. You're going to be, you're going to be in pain. But
like the main thing, like sometimes your pride get in the way, and that's
listen.
I'm speaking from personal right now. I mean, because I've been in my feelings lately. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's I guess, and I can say that I'm too prideful.
Well, you can't be prideful because everybody in some way fails. They may not admit it. Even the ones who seem like they're at a level where they're top notch, they had to fail before, and they just got to be humble enough to share those experiences so people cannot feel like they can't fail. So,
yeah,
like they give the quote here about Thomas Edison. It says, I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
That's it, man. That's it. Wow. And that's still a discovery. You know what I'm saying? Definitely
is. So again, you have to learn from your failures.
Yes, sir.
Learn from your failures. All right, number 4, for musicians only. Don't rationalize your failure.
Oh no, you can't do that.
Don't rationalize your failure. Many times you fail and you may rationalize it or give yourself a reason to give up.
Wow. put our failures on the table and just be like, this is why it didn't work. This is why I shouldn't do it again, or why I shouldn't try.
Yeah. You definitely can't do it, man.
I like this thing. The last thing, basically, what he's saying here: essentially, stop being so nice to yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta be hard on yourself.
You got to.
Yeah.
And so, to overcome failure in life, you need to be firm and stop making excuses for yourself. I can find so many excuses right now. Don't have enough time. I don't have the equipment. Don't have the clientele. You know, I'm just speaking for my personal situation currently. But again, stop making excuses. You know what I'm saying? This is just me. The outcome and the product that I put out, I do put a lot of pressure on myself. Put a lot of pressure on my girls. And sometimes, especially early in the process, it's unnecessary. Pressure. Because again, we're in the beginning process, beginning stages of a situation. And we're gonna have failures. We're gonna have, and that's just me. I like to set the bar high.
And that's good to do. I mean, you can set the bar high, and the thing is, you already going in overcoming things when you meet that level.
Gotcha.
But don't expect to meet it immediately. I mean, it's going to take time. But if you don't have a goal going in, how do you know if you're feeling or not?
Gotcha.
So that's good.
And I was listening to something this morning on the way over here. It was basically saying, like, the statistics say only 1% succeed. So in order for you to succeed in life, you can't be like the 99%.
Yeah.
But I like how the guy said, he was like, 1% succeed in life, but that doesn't mean you have a 1% chance at succeeding in life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Isn't that kind of like the ratio with basketball players and football players? Like, there's a small percentage of the ones who actually make it to the NFL, to the NBA.
Definitely.
So and it's because of how they train differently than other people. Yeah.
And you got to have, and again, with anything to be successful, you got to have a different mindset.
Yeah.
You can't just be normal. And again, too, it's all about how you, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess advertise yourself or brand yourself.
Yeah.
It's all, you know what I'm saying? So it's, you know what I'm saying? It's so many different businesses out there that might have the same get up or the same idea behind it, but what makes your brand stand out? You know what I'm saying? You have to be creative and to make your brand stand out. You know what I'm saying? So
And at what point do we talk about the spirituality and calling in this thing? Like, when it comes to people failing at something that's not their calling, how do we incorporate that?
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
And I'll chime in on that one. Like, as far as, and this is my personal opinion. So please don't, you can hit us up at formopodcast@gmail.com, but send good comments.
Yeah.
But this is just me. Whenever you're considering about your calling in the spiritual aspect, it ain't all about what other people say.
Got that right.
Like, if you know you are called to do something by God, make sure whatever you present to him is your 100. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because other people are going to have their opinion about it. You know what I'm saying? Whether, you should have read this scripture this way, or, you know what I'm saying? Should have played that chord this way. But if you know you are giving it your 100 to him, and that is your calling, and you are walking in that calling, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do to make sure that it is fulfilled at like that 100. You give it your all. You give it your all.
And that's all he want.
Yeah.
You give it your all.
Yeah. And as an example, we know how us as musicians in our ministry, we don't play the same.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of, and there's a lot of different churches that don't play the same.
Yeah.
Some do because they're under the same conference. But when you have certain ministries that are, in a sense, separated, some, I'll say, core structures that we are particular with doesn't flow the same way in other churches, and vice versa. Some things that other musicians or some ministries have, as far as music is concerned, doesn't flow the same way in ours.
Yeah.
So if we were trying to make it mix, it's like,
yeah, you can't.
how can God is looking like, how can I be glorified in this if, I separated this for a reason, and is trying to blend with something else I've separated.
And the first thing a musician that is not familiar with it will say is you're doing it wrong, or you're playing this song wrong, you're doing this, it should be done a different way. But no, it's just how you are supposed to present it the way you need to present it. And I mean, of course, I understand what you're saying. We're advocates for us having a different sound.
Right.
VT sound.
Yeah. And it's really crazy, but at the end of the day, like, we can't sit here and say, oh, well, that's wrong, we're doing it wrong. No, we're doing it 100% according to the way we were called to do it. So,
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I was gonna piggyback off that. I know we're going on another tangent, but that you're absolutely right. It just amazes me how, to me, it is more so of our mindsets when it comes to that.
Yeah.
As far as coming in and they don't sound like the way we sound, so I can't praise them today. You know what I'm saying? Or I've been in situations where that has happened, or we go somewhere and they're praising God and the music is good, but it's not like what we're used to, and vice versa. Or
you got to respect the way they were using their calling. I mean,
definitely,
that's just you can't judge. That's just the way they're presented to do it.
It is not. It shouldn't even be about. Ultimately, it shouldn't be about the music. But when you just have what you need in that moment. You got to use it.
Gotcha. We went totally off subject, but
I mean, it's still the same, because if you think about it, it's simply about how you judge according to what a person may consider to be a failure.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, like, I know plenty of musicians that are educationally, they're knowledgeable from an educational standpoint, and they're gonna sit here and say, well, the way you do that, that's not. No, you consider it a failure according to what you know, versus the way we're operating, the way we know. And you just gotta kind of respect a person's move.
I was gonna say just as far as like playing, my biggest fear was failure too.
But see, y'all listening to Brad. But Brad would get on that thing and play the way he would play and tear the house down. For real. So many souls were saved and delivered through that anointing. You know what I'm saying?
To God be the glory.
the way he ministered, point blank. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. There is no.
But I'm laughing. But I mean, on the flip side, so many times I let myself. What's that thing say? That's one of the ones. Like, don't be so hard on yourself.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Don't rationalize your failures. So I mean, and again, I put too much pressure on myself at times, and a lot of times it was unnecessary pressure, but it was good pressure, because I don't like feeling the way I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? So that pressured
yourself to do better.
Yeah, absolutely right. So sometimes that failure is a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I laugh because the next one says self-confidence. All right. So never let failure in your life scratch your confidence level.
There you go.
So if you fail, it doesn't mean you can never do it. Keep going at it. Believe in yourself. Once you develop a strong belief in your abilities, you will be able to overcome any failure.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the problem I was having, was my self-confidence. All right. So I laugh. People, man, you played that thing today, and I'm like, or I go home and think, man, I didn't hit this right, man. I forgot to do this, and
all the while somebody just went home free.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All the while I go back and listen to the live, like, like, all right. Or I hear Sam do a run that I didn't hear during the service. Like, what? I do that all the time. Like, I'll be in the room and Yolanda hear me say, woo! She's like, oh, what Sam done did now? You know what I'm saying? So, and I would say this, dude, shout outs to my wife, because I will say this. The times that I come to her and talk to her about how I felt I failed that Sunday, she was like, baby, like, this is she always say, and I do it a lot. I always talk good about Sam, or I always talk good about, EJ, or I talk good about TJ, or like, yo, did y'all hear Daddy? You know what I'm saying? It's like I elevate everybody else, but I never have that self-confidence in myself. And my wife is always that one, was like, baby, like, that's what you need to do. You talk so highly of others, like, you always, she says that, and that's everything in life. It's like I sell myself short.
You can't do that, man. Can't do that. Especially when you're good at what you do. You know what I'm saying? And while you're operating with what you're anointed to do, she's operating with what she's anointed to do, and that's cover you, and that's to make you feel the way you are. You know what I'm saying? And but also remember what she is doing is helping you offset that balance. Like basically, your balance should be your humbleness versus reality. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to get to a point where you're feeling yourself too much, because you're not going to come home and be like, yo, I was killing today. You're not going to do that. But you want to be able to humble yourself and always leave room for growth. Always. And then their job is to basically acknowledge, but now look, and Amber's the same way. If I come home and I'm kind of feeling myself a little bit, we was doing this, doing that, she has a way of popping my little brother. But that's her job. You know what I'm saying? She's okay, y'all sounded good, baby, but don't forget, last time you was doing this, and she just has a way of doing it. So again, while we're anointed to do what we do, they're anointed to do what they do.
And that's key, man. Shout out to our first lady. Shoot.
Y'all first. All right.
Hey, man. Speaking things as though they were.
And that's a key factor to pay attention to, Sam, as you're moving forward with relationships and stuff. Like,
yes, absolutely.
You want them to understand their role as well.
Yes. I need it.
Yes, sir.
And you don't always want to be partnered up with yes men, yes women, because I mean that can definitely, you know what I'm saying. And I would say that too, and I think I've said it to my brothers here, like especially like I said, I keep going back to For Your Memories, but if it's trash, like it's trash, like I will be the first to say that it's trash.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want y'all to tell me too what is trash. You know what I'm saying? And that's the flow that we operate in, is that spirit of excellence. Like I'm not just gonna put mess out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If what I put out I feel like is at that particular point, that's the best that I could do.
Right.
And again, if it's trash, then please tell me that it's trash. You know what I'm saying? So that we can educate ourselves and put the product out that the people want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's in all aspects of life. That's like my music aspect. You know what I'm saying? That's my life aspect. If my life is trash, like please tell me. Yeah. And I pray to thank God for people that have told me that my life was trash and I need to get it together.
Same here,
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I just laugh at that. Like if it's trash, like tell me it's trash, but you ain't gotta like put it out in public. Like don't put it on Facebook. Your life is trash. Like
Brad Wood's life is trash.
hit me up on my DMs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Send me a nice little text message.
Hey, bud, I love you, but you can get it together.
Yeah, man. All right, this one right here. Stay in the present.
Okay.
Stay in the present. So by wandering in the past or focusing too much on the future, you're gonna miss out on your present.
My God.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I keep going back. That's the process that I have to realize we are where we are, like right now. I see the bigger goal at hand.
Right.
But in order for us to take them steps up, we're gonna have to take a couple steps back. You know what I'm saying? We take steps forward. And I laugh. I had a conversation, matter of fact, with your dad, EJ, and he brought me back down a couple of steps. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I see the big picture at the end. I see it.
Yeah.
Got a vision. I gotta go, which is also key to have when you're in this process of life. Have goals, set goals for yourself.
Yeah.
But you gotta realize in the present, you know what I'm saying? Stay in the present. And that's definitely gonna, I guess, accept these failures a little bit better than what they are. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we kind of talked about that when we brought up if you was 15, what would you tell your 15-year-old self? And I remember saying, for me personally, to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got to pay attention to what's going on now, how people respond, what's going on, what's being said, what you're doing. That way you can use all of that to chop it up to how you move forward.
Gotcha.
You can't be afraid of what's going on right now, because now is what's going to tell you or going to help build a foundation for later on.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Concentrate on like what you're doing now.
Pay attention.
Concentrate what you're doing now. So stay present. By staying present, it's going to allow yourself to grow from your failure and overcome it rather than drowning in your own pain.
Amen.
Wow. All right. Wow. So moving forward, that's what I plan on doing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to come with bumps in the road. Again, we're still in the early stages. And again, shouts out to this big fella here, EJ. Like the moves that you was making, like these making money moves, like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it really has. I was on the way driving here. I was like, yo, 2020. People have been saying like 2020. Yo, we wish we could restart 2020. But I will say this. I will say this: the year of 2020, like my family's not lacking.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Like, I've started 2 dreams that I've had. You know what I'm saying? The podcast, and shout outs to my girls at Before Your Memories. But like 2020 it's been a year. Trust and believe. But it's like, wow, it took a pandemic for me to kind of like jump out into the deep. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wasn't. This is what I said. Shoot, everything else going wrong. Like what else can go wrong? You know what I'm saying?
That's why you shoot your shot.
You know what I'm saying? What else can go wrong?
Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah. I agree. 2020.
Like I've seen this moment before.
We said that earlier too. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's I don't know, man.
Yeah. My God.
Just again about failures. Again, it just gave some key things to remember. Again, let's recap them right quick. So understand failure is the key path to success.
Yep.
Got to remain calm and reflect. Got to think about it. Learn from these failures.
Yep.
All right, but don't rationalize them. We all got to make mistakes, but don't rationalize them. Don't give yourself that escape route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, stay confident. Confidence is key. Confidence. If nobody don't believe in you and your product, you better believe in your doggone self. You feel me?
That's right.
Better believe in your doggone self. And again, stay in the present.
Yeah.
Stay in the present. You learn from the past. You look towards the future, but you don't, you know what I'm saying, put all your eggs into the future, if that makes sense. Yeah. There still is a process. All right.
One thing I've learned as a manager, I guess a leader in general, there's going to be a lot of people that you deal with that are just afraid of everything, but you will see so much in them. And the thing is, you can't put so much into them without them putting into themselves. So I learned like a little philosophy. Okay, I'm gonna show this person that they can be somebody, and deep down they already know, but they kind of just needed that push so then they can start seeing it in themselves.
They need a kick in the butt.
Because then it'll work hand in hand. Like you show and support and you believe in them, then they believe in themselves. And then you expect them to move from there. But then as they begin to get back into that place, that's why you're there as well, to show them like, hey, you can do it. Keep pushing. But they just have to get over that spirit of fear. They can't be scared of nothing. And the thing is, you got to trust God, and you got to trust the people around you that want to support you, because they obviously see something in you. How can you be afraid to push something that even someone else can see in you? You can't.
Clap your hands. We're moving.
You can't do that. And earlier this week, I put a status on Facebook about who helped in your musical journey or whatever, and I made mention to my father-in-law. Well, one thing about him was, for one, he had been down the path of a lot of things that I've done and I'm doing now, and two, he saw those things in me as well, and he showed me, okay, because this is my thing. Coming up in Victory and things like, I thought I was just a musician.
Victory.
I thought that's all I was, just a musician. And so when things would change and I wasn't playing in certain periods and, whatever, then I had to do something. It doesn't mean I'm supposed to shut down, but there was so much more in me. And then when people would speak it, and they would say it, I wouldn't believe it. Nah, not me. Gotcha. Not the way I mess up, man. I know there's no. See, that's you coming up with excuses for having fear.
No, yep.
You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And then once you get to a place where you say, you know what, I can't allow the spirit of fear to hold me down. Let me just go ahead and first of all, when you get past the spirit of fear, it kind of gives you an encouragement to keep going, because there's failures that's going to come about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had events. Listen. My first event, I was scared to death. But when you think about that, while there were failures in that event and I would have done things differently, you always got to find the good in those things. Like, okay, put it like this. I always say, if one person is blessed by anything that I do,
amen,
then I didn't fail.
Amen.
Like, I didn't fail. So here I am at my first event, nervous and everything. And the woman of God, shout out to Jaleesa K, she was ministering, doing her thing. I I got off the keyboard and was took into a place of worship. I was blessed. You know what I'm saying?
Going in.
So that tells me
Half that sweat one because you was hot.
right.
And a big old blazer on.
Big old towel on your shoulder.
If here's the thing, I was blessed, and that was my fear. I would say, well, if one person, so that tells me I didn't fail.
You're absolutely right.
If nobody else was blessed, I was. So that gave me the encouragement to keep going. But if it wasn't for people saying that in me, I would have never made it to that point. Yeah. So that's my encouragement. Just don't be afraid to do it. Just jump out there, trust God, and trust that people that's going to support you really be there, even if it's one person.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
And I will say this. Shout outs to, again, EJ. This is like EJ appreciation episode.
I'll be taking my offering up.
Nah, but like everything like you were saying, like is true. Like I can say that from being a recipient of the push, like I said earlier, the kick in the butt from you. You know what I'm saying? Like I like it. Like I said, we talked about earlier, you kind of like grabbed me by the back of my neck and threw me into the water. And it was like,
get the water.
Yeah, either you gonna swim or you gonna drown.
I go swim in that water.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's
Mr. Brown.
Sometimes you need that push, man. And I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, the push that, you know, with these last couple of months that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, even if it's support from one person, like I can say that, like EJ supports what we got going on my neck of the woods. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I appreciate you. Like a whole 100. You know what I mean?
A lot of that comes from being in a place where I was fearful, and I got that push and encouragement from other people. Mm-hmm. So, and all I knew was I could play an instrument, but there was something else stirred up in me. Mm-hmm. And every time I think about what it is, I would get scared. Every time someone would prophesy or say certain things, I would brush it away and say, "No, not me, not me."
Touch on.
But it took that person to say, "Go,
go ahead."
Moving.
But it's that encouragement that you need.
Yes.
Because once you get that encouragement, it's like you feel like you can do anything, and you take it to the next level.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Boy.
Almighty.
Hallelujah. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's funny.
We need.
But sometimes you need it, and you do take it to another level.
Yeah, definitely.
Because somebody sees something in you that you really don't see in yourself. Yeah, Sha.
And you know, we do that for each other. We push each other.
Absolutely.
You know? And it always trips me out because, Brad, you say, well, EJ does this now. You've been doing this my whole life. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we've been pushing each other for a very long time on the little things. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to holding me up in the choir stand. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to that. Like, that was pushed way back then. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just starting. Like, we have been helping each other get over so many things for so many years. So now we're just doing that for other people now, man.
And shout outs to Sam for carrying me for so many years. Shoot.
Man.
Oh, I had to kick you in the butt too a few times.
Like Woods, man, learn the number system. Dang.
Not that, but you better get it together.
And shout out to Philip Stewart.
Yes,
you know
sir.
It takes that, man. Just pushing. Just to push.
If I don't play as a person.
Yeah, for real. And again, that takes us all the way back to Evangelist McLean.
Yes.
So many leaders.
Yes. What in the world? Shout outs to Elder
Mighty
McClain.
God.
Matthew.
Yes.
Goodman Campbell, Evangelist Campbell. So just so many people that have helped us get up with so many things.
Shoot.
You know what I'm saying? So this ain't nothing new.
Shout out to Elder McClain. I'm still yet yielding to the inevitable. You feel me? Like,
Mighty God.
Yeah, man.
And
wow.
We getting off topic, but again, pushes from people like her have gotten me through my lowest times of failure. I would say that it from going through that, I would tell you the way that she handled things and approached me and conversated with me never changed.
Wow.
That is one I ain't gonna name everybody, but that is one of the consistencies in my life that I've had, was her. So shout outs to Elder McClain.
Because it's just something she saw in you.
Yeah. What did you say a minute ago? Yield to the inevitable.
That is something that years ago, I was in and out of the church, knowing where I should have been, not yielding. There's shot. And that's one thing that, and I wrote that in my Bible. So when I open up my first page, that's something that I always remember her telling me: yield to the inevitable.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's what's supposed to happen. So why are you fighting?
That's right.
So
That's right.
yield to the inevitable.
Oh my
That's
God.
right.
That's a word in itself. And she just laughed, and that's all she got to say. Are you yielding? And I'm like, I know where that's going.
Yeah.
So yield to the inevitable, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yield to the inevitable. Let's go ahead. We can wrap it up, but let me finish. They have their final words, and that'll lead us into our at the end of the day.
Sir.
All right. So in the end, understanding the root of our failure and how we can overcome is key. This is essential for everybody, especially in order to live a positive and successful life. So again, by adapting these 6 key factors that we just mentioned, he suggests it's going to help you overcome failure in life, mold yourselves into stronger individuals. He finished his blog by a famous quote by the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan.
All right.
All right. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. That's it.
Wow.
26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in life, and that is why I succeed.
That's right.
Wow.
From the GOAT himself.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, let's go ahead and wrap it up, guys. At the end of the day, when it comes to our biggest fear, or what is our biggest fear? And today we kind of summed it up into failure. At the end of the day, what say ye about failure, and what can you subscribe or prescribe in reference to failure? What you got, big fella?
Failure is good. I mean, hands down, failure is good. Without failure, we won't learn anything. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't want to, and I was just telling you this, I don't want to deal with anybody who is walking in so much perfection.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because for one, when they walking in it, they can't go back and remember when they had to be humbled. So failure is good, man. Like it will show on you, point blank.
Oh yeah.
It will literally show on you. It will literally say you've been through something, and when you make it out of that situation, you got so much wisdom. Think about all these preachers out here, all these leaders, anybody that has any type of anything that's decent had to fail. Point blank.
Gotcha.
Even, okay, I mean, let me stir something up. Even people like Donald Trump,
Okay.
who he wasn't, I mean, he might have been born a millionaire.
Yes, he was.
But,
his first loan was $1 million from his daddy.
but I and I'm not an advocate for him, just like that. I'm just saying I have even read certain things where when he tried certain things, it didn't work. He had to try a different way.
Yeah.
Even when it came to his business and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like everybody has been through a place where they're failing and they had to adjust to make certain things happen.
Gotcha.
So, and for the ones that have not, keep on living.
Yes, sir. I mean, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but like everybody has had failure.
Yeah.
Like I mean, something as simple as riding your bike. When you first was learning, I'm pretty sure you fell off plenty of times. That's failure.
And you know what? I'm so glad you said that, because I was going to try to push us in this direction earlier about our children. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's at the end, and we're gonna bring up the kids. But
listen, because
that is one of my
we know for a fact that even the things that we failed at, we got to relive to get them through it. You know, my boys' birthday, they're coming up. 2 of them are back to back, and we get in them bikes. You know what I'm saying? And Amber said, well, we're gonna go ahead and order the bikes with the training wheels. I said nah, because
come on, Daddy.
I'll help you get past that part. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta not have the fear when I let go to keep going.
We'll put them training wheels on that.
No, because guess what? It's going. I don't want them to get handicapped. It's going to take some bumps and bruises.
Jesus.
They got to be tough. You know what I'm saying? They at football practice right now.
Yeah.
So it's going to take some of the bumps and bruises, but I'm going to be right there though, because I've been through it. You know, so I'm the training wheels this time. You know what I'm saying? And my dad was the same way. I don't remember having training wheels. So it's one of them things where we know for a fact we can't deal with fear because we're gonna have to help them through it. But I love it. Shoot, them jokers.
I'm piggyback off of that. Sometimes putting training wheels on can impair us from what we need.
Yeah. Make sure you insert some worship music right there.
Sometimes, yeah.
Go ahead, Sam. Oh.
Yeah, man.
Even in ministry.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. That can be impairing to us, to where we don't get the actual training we need. We are basically being babied in the step where we are already on steak and potatoes.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Have y'all seen the video? You seen the video of the Karate Kid? Like, he's trying to break the board.
Yes.
And he's crying, and the man is like, "Why are you crying?" You know, he's talking
chill,
through it, helping him get over that little fear. And then the boy, boom, he knocked it out.
Knocked it out.
That's what I'm saying.
He even made it a point to explain, men cry.
Exactly.
Men cry. You're going to make a mistake. That doesn't mean you stop.
Oh yeah, and no failures now. We got.
Hey.
And to piggyback off that, did you see the second part of that video?
Yeah.
Where the instructor called the boy's
His dad. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
My God.
I'll find that and I'll drop that in the description
Yes.
bar. But
Yeah.
it was basically like he told him to do some push-ups till it was like muscle failure. But then he told his son to come and get on his back. And it was like that right there was enough to encourage him to, even though he was at muscle failure, you got the weight of the world. You got your son.
Yes, sir.
You know. Whoa.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's even simple things like me right now doing heating in there. I hate snakes. You know what I'm saying? I don't like snakes.
The animal and the person.
Amen. But I don't like
Nah,
snakes.
don't hate the snake and that part hate the venom on that point.
Listen, but put it like this: if I see a snake in the yard, I want to, and my kids are playing in the yard, I want to kill that snake.
Yeah,
that's the same thing. You know, we have to deal with fear because we got to help them through it.
Yes, sir.
And then what am I gonna do after I kill that snake? And my boys think the world of me. They gonna kill the snake next. You know what I'm saying? They gonna move on into that next thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna get over this thing together. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Thank God for my dad.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's a lot of things I didn't know. He don't like snakes and stuff, but I remember him killing plenty of them. That's why I thought about that. And I always say my dad wasn't afraid of nothing. But the truth is, him and us, we are afraid of a lot. But we understand our responsibility.
Yes, sir.
And our calling. So we kind of got to get over it. Boom.
And sometimes that responsibility and that calling super exceeds any fear that you have.
All day.
Prime example, you know, in ministry,
Yeah.
the fear that I always had to sit down and play, that responsibility and that calling always superseded that fear.
Yeah.
You know, I would sit down and play. Sometimes I would be a little fearful. Then I get that little look. Okay, it's time to dive. Time to go in. Time to dive in. So I definitely respect how you said that. That calling, and it definitely supersedes that fear. Because like I said, there have been plenty of times where I've sat and been fearful of playing.
Yeah.
But again, you have to think back to that calling that you have. It definitely will.
Responsibility.
Yes, sir. And being sitting in that seat, you have a responsibility.
Yes.
You have a responsibility. Don't know how to say it again. Sitting in that seat,
Hallelujah.
you have a responsibility. So that responsibility. So here we go. I love how we wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Being in that seat, you have a responsibility, and the calling is going to over.
Oh, Roger Fair.
Just let that sit into your doc.
Eco bubble.
Hey, Shy. Did you finish? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
My at the end of the day.
Wow. Good turn, guys. Good turn.
Yes. I guess I could say at the end of the day, the learning experience we get from failing can detour our next step. It's just on how we choose it to. If we choose to, like you said earlier, sit on the failures and allow it to change our direction negatively, that's what it's going to do. But if we say, hey, okay, I messed up, So let's move on. Let's figure out how I can make it work the next time. And even if I can't make it work, see what I can do differently.
Definitely.
That can change our perspective on a positive note, and we'll get over that hump. I'm not gonna say the fear is gonna stop there, because it won't. We'll get over that hump.
Yeah.
But there, of course, we know there are going to be more obstacles to come. That'll just assure us that we can get over fear ultimately.
They coming, Doc.
Yeah.
They coming.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from a spiritual aspect right now.
Mm.
They coming.
Yep.
But again, all right. So at the end of the day, that was
Next show, we're gonna have to talk about the consequences of those failures.
outstanding.
Yeah, that's big too.
And the consequences of us overcoming our fear from the enemy.
Yeah,
We're gonna have consequences of overcoming fear.
Part 2 next week. Then that's
Outstanding.
cool. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, when it comes to failure, again, I'm definitely gonna pick it back off what EJ said here. Your responsibility and your calling should definitely, and it should and will succeed over any fear that you have. As a father, I have a responsibility to my kids. As a husband, I have a responsibility to my wife, and I definitely have failed in that. I'm going ahead and admit that right now. Yeah, I can admit that right now. I definitely have.
A list.
I definitely have failed in that aspect. Again, you don't, like they say, either you don't dwell in the past. You focus on the present.
Almighty God.
You focus on the present and you get things right in the present. That's with any relationship. And I'm going to relationships. I don't know how I got into that, but that's with any relationship. You really don't dwell on the past. You focus on the present and move forward. But again, as far as failure, I definitely I have a goal in mind, but you work towards that goal.
Yeah.
So failure again isn't the final destination. A lot of people stop once they fail. A lot of people stop. But failure, and again, is the process to success.
That's right.
Hey, how about the failure to succeed? Next episode. You know what I'm saying? Some people are literally afraid to succeed. And a big part of that is relationships as well. Like I have seen relationships, mine included, where one party will hold back because they don't want things to go into another avenue, and you got to work through that. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. But next episode, we can do this.
Just like that quote says, "The past is history, the future is a mystery, and the today is a gift." That's why they call it present.
All right, Willie Moore Jr.
Well, see, no shade, but he always said it wrong, so I had to
But I got you. That's
pocket
exactly,
peeve.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Willie Moore Jr.
Flat out.
Good show today.
Yes.
So we good?
I'm good.
All right, y'all know how we go ahead and give you shouts out, big fella.
Today is a special shout out, man. I'm gonna take my time with this one. Okay,
Take your
Go ahead
time.
and sit back, y'all.
in the beginning,
In the beginning,
Hold on now, 30-second time out. Y'all seen Lord forgive me. In the beginning. Lord forgive me.
Therefore, can travel to Africa now.
Oh my God. Shout outs to our viewers in Africa.
Amen. Glory to God.
I was like, what? Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So okay. So I don't know when this show is gonna air. I mean, as far as like, when I think y'all know by now we premiere and but today is August the 1st. So shout out to my sister, may she rest in peace, Stephanie Stewart.
Yes, sir.
She would have been 31 years old today.
Yes.
So my shout outs today is specifically for her. And of course, much love to my family, and prayers to my entire family on this day. But yeah, I can't let this moment go by without showing love to you call me big fella. Nah, that was she ran it. Yeah. So shout out to her, man. Like I said, Stephanie, I miss you. Happy birthday, love you. Enjoy that 31st in heaven, man.
Amen.
Wow.
I said amen. But yeah, man.
It is so.
What you got, Doc?
Shout outs to my family, my immediate family, my mom and pops, all my uncles, aunts, and friends on Facebook. Shout out to my circle, who's kept me. Shout out to these brothers here.
Man.
Kept me in line. Yeah. Been a good show. Been a
Yes,
good
sir.
show.
Good show.
Yes,
Good
sir.
All right, here we go. Y'all know how we start off. Shouts out. Shout out to Dr. Campbell.
Yes.
And that
Yes,
VT
yes.
film. Man, it's like it's been forever since I seen you, Pastor. I love you. Yeah, but shout outs to Dr. Campbell and the VT film.
Yeah.
Shout outs to my starting five.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to my parents, my siblings. We do this every episode. Y'all know I love y'all. Just take a little break. Shout outs. We mentioned her earlier. Like shout outs to Elder McLean.
Yeah.
For being that consistency in my life throughout my failures.
Same here.
Make sure I tag her in that. But shouts out to her. Shouts out to everybody again that's been there through our ups and downs.
Oh yeah.
And again, like I said, this is EJ appreciation episode. So shouts out to the big fella here, man. I commend you on everything that you got moving right now.
Yeah, much love.
Making money moves, making an impact on our community, making an
ministry
impact.
moves.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Making an impact, period, man. That's the key word for today is impact, brother.
Yeah,
like
man.
your moves, they may be, this is what I'll say, they may be silent moves, but they are some powerful moves, my brother.
Amen.
So shouts out to you, man. Shouts out to everything that you have done to give me, like I said earlier, that kick in the butt to kind of start some different avenues in my life.
Yeah, man.
You're
Hey.
big part of what's going on right now,
When
man.
I'm a millionaire, I'm gonna need some friends too.
I don't mind spending the money. Yeah.
I'm gonna need some millionaire friends. Like we gotta do this together.
Oh Lord.
And that's what you're supposed to do, man. And I told you this privately, and I want to put it out publicly.
Yeah.
So many doors that you are opening, you didn't have to open that door for me and pull me through.
Man.
But the fact that you took out the time and the fact that you are carrying me along for this ride, I'll say that.
Man.
It means so much to me, man.
Oh yeah.
To me and my family, and we appreciate you,
I
man.
can say the same. I can definitely say the same.
EJ Appreciation Show.
The offering will be taken in.
Cash App is beat.
Yeah, shouts out, yeah.
Much love.
I'm still looking for them sponsors for the podcast.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, man.
So hit us up on our socials. But again, man, shouts out to our circle of fifths, man. Thank
Yeah.
you for the continuous support. That
Yes.
what you're doing currently, we're focusing on the present, but we're looking to the future as well.
Yep.
Shouts out for what you got to do in the future.
Oh, yeah.
With that being said, man, I think we good, Eric. All hearts and minds clear.
All hearts and minds clear.
All right, so again, shout outs to the saints, the ain'ts,
Yeah,
all
man.
the church members in between. You know? Hope y'all have a blessed day. Have a good weekend. See y'all
right.
next week. Peace.
Hey, peace.
All the people who's on the fence. You know what I'm saying?
Come and see.
Yeah, man. Good stuff, guys.
Yes.